Hey all, this is Baruch B here from the Defiant Spirit. I want to share with you just some thoughts about my co-work space and wanted to jump on and share with you some thoughts about recent podcast I did with Ariella. I talked about it last week, but you jump over to defiantspirit.org and you can listen to Ariella, my wife, and in many ways my life partner, but also business partner. And she does healing. I do guidance, counseling, therapy, and she heals people on many levels, spiritually especially, and past life generational healing. Now, I take the same idea and I use now the Enneagram. The Enneagram is a personality assessment. And looking at your present and your past through the lens of the Enneagram. So I call it the Genogram because the Genogram is a family history, looking at your family tree for more than just biology, birth order, all that kind of stuff, but looking at it from an emotional perspective, what we've inherited, what's broken that we've has become ours, and do we want it to be ours? Do we want to pass it down to our children? So I work with people using the Enneagram in all kinds of ways, but this is a new way that I've been using it, and it's transformative. Looking at your family tree vis-a-vis the Enneagram. So it's obvious when you have living people, you can give them the Enneagram test, they can take it, and you can see, um, their Enneagram type, their personality type, and but what do you do with somebody who's passed? For instance, my dad. My dad never took the Enneagram. I have no way of formally knowing his Enneagram type, but what I've done is I've walked through thinking about my dad, going through the Enneagram, really figuring out where he lived on the Enneagram. What was his personality type? What were the strengths? What were the weaknesses? Now I've done that for my grandmother, for both my grandmothers, for my grandfathers, all who have passed. I'm really starting to see patterns in my life based on their Enneagram type. My kids and what they've inherited from their grandparents and what I've passed on as a parent, the positive and the not so positive. So our work here in this lifetime is to, as the Kabbalists, the mystics say, to see ourselves as a link within the chain. In Hebrew, it's called Lador Vador, from generation to generation, to see our work as the link in the chain of what are we the conduit of? What are we passing down from grandparents, from great grandparents down to our children, our children's children? Are we conscious of it? Are we aware of what we're passing down? In our podcast, Ariel and I talk quite a bit about generational healing. We didn't really talk too much about the Enneagram, but I'm moving in that direction for my next few podcasts. Going to be talking to you about how to use the Enneagram as a way to not only navigate the present and the future, but also the past. How to heal the past. What do you need to heal? What have you inherited that is yours? What have you inherited that is not yours or that you don't want? Because you don't have to accept the entirety of the inheritance. You get to decide. You get to choose what to receive and what to let go of. We are not here to pass on every single thing because not all of it is good. We have a duty to those who came before us to discern, to decide what do we want to pass on to our loved ones, to our children's children, and what do we want to remain in the past to be buried with our deceased loved ones. That's where the Enneagram comes in. That's the work you can be doing. So I encourage you to really think about utilizing the Enneagram as yet another way to engage this amazing system into your life in modern, practical, actionable ways. If you're interested, jump over to defiantspirit.org where you can listen to the podcast with Ariel and I, or you can set up a discovery call with me and we can talk about how to figure out your Enneagram type, how to figure out your loved one's Enneagram type, whether they're living or whether they are deceased, doesn't matter. We will figure out their type so that you can be that link, a strong link in the chain. I will see you in the next video. Until then, jump over to defiantspirit.org and defy your number, live your spirit.